For more than 3 years, the world has focused on the Russia-Ukraine war. But despite being one of the most powerful countries on earth, with nuclear weapons, massive armies, and enormous natural resources, what is that one fear that has haunted every Russian leader for centuries? And why is Russia willing to risk war after war just to control its western border? To understand that, you need to look at a single terrifying geographic reality. Imagine a land so flat and wide that tanks can roll from the Polish border all the way to Moscow in just 5 days. No hills, no mountains, and no rivers to stop them. This is Russia's western border, known as the North European Plain. It is one of the main reasons why Russia can never feel safe here. And history shows us why. In 1237, the Mongol armies invaded across these open lands, destroying Russia's first major kingdom. Over 300 years later, in 1812, Napoleon's army captured Moscow after moving across the same plain. Then in 1941, Hitler's forces came dangerously close during World War II. Today, NATO troops are stationed in Poland, just around 600 kilometers from Moscow, the same flat path invaders once used before. A narrow corridor called the Svalky Gap, only 65 kilometers wide, separates NATO's Baltic states from Russia's Kaliningrad exclave. It is the only land route connecting the Baltic states to the rest of NATO in Europe. This small corridor is one of the most dangerous flashpoints in Europe. Because during a conflict, if Russia managed to cut off this corridor, NATO could struggle to quickly send troops and supplies into the Baltic region. And then there is Crimea. This peninsula is Russia's only reliable warm water port in the west, where its Black Sea Fleet is based. Losing Crimea would mean losing a key naval base. Before the war in Ukraine, Russia supplied a large part of Europe's gas through pipelines crossing Ukraine and the Baltic Sea. Today, much of that supply has been disrupted, forcing Russia to turn east towards China. Over 100 years ago, a British geographer said, "Who controls Eastern Europe commands the heartland." And Russia's leaders still believe this today. That is why they fight so hard to control their western border. Because for Russia, geography is not just geography. It is memory, it is invasion, it is survival. So when you hear about the conflict in Ukraine or the tensions with NATO, remember this. Russia's actions are deeply shaped by geography, by flat plains that have been invaded time and time again. That's all for today's edition of Geopolitics Made Simple. Thanks for watching.